Hi, this is David from MyAEDs.com. In this video, we're going to show you a user of the MyAEDs.com system and the reports and actions that they have available to them. This is a regular user. This is not a customer admin user. If you watch some of our other videos that talked about customer admin reports and actions, you'll notice that there's no admin reports shown, just the general reports. And only under actions, there's just the AED incident and not some of the other actions that you saw in the customer admin video. Also in the dashboard, you'll see that there's only 3 tables for this user view. In the customer admin, we had another table that showed all of the AEDs for this particular business. So as a user, the users only see the AEDs and information associated with the sites that they are attached to. So this particular user, this B. Smith user, the sites that they are associated with is only one, and it's the main site. That's the site name. It has one AED at it, and here's its address. So we can see that here's the one AED of all of their AEDs. There's only one because it's the one at the main site, and you can see here's its serial number. It's at the main site, some information about it. And then here is the open AED checks and some information about the open AED checks. If you saw in the customer admin videos, we had other open AED checks, we had other AEDs, we had other sites for this particular customer. But since this user is only associated with one site, the main site, they only see the information from that site. So this way you can keep your users focused on the particular things that they need to stay focused on. They may not need to see information at the other sites. If you need a user to see multiple sites, as the customer admin, you can assign them to multiple sites. They don't need to be assigned to only one site. And if for some reason you need them to see everything, you can make them a customer admin and they would have the same privileges as you. So here we're going to just focus on the user. So if you're a user of the system and not a customer admin, this is the view you will have. And if you need to be associated with another site, or maybe you're not associated with any sites, you need to talk to your customer admin and get yourself associated with the sites you need to be associated with. So you can see all of these My reports on the side. There's open checks and all the way down. The checks, the AED checks, are basically forms that you can fill out, and they get created on a periodic basis, either monthly or quarterly. And they essentially ask, so here's the MyAED open checks. We'll go in and edit one. So you click the pencil icon to edit, the magnifying glass to view. We'll edit this particular one. And it has a set of 5 questions that are asking about each AED. And so it gives you, here's the serial number of the AED that this one's being asked about. It can say, here's the customer, the location is at the main site. There's actually even an in-building location, and that's what this line is. And so maybe this would say it's on the 3rd floor near the bathrooms. And so you can fill that in. It's not editable in the checks, but when we go to the AEDs, you can go edit an AED and all of that information is editable. So for the check, it really asks you these 5 questions. Is the indicator green? Is there any damage? Are the electrodes expired? The spare pads expired? Or the batteries expired? And if you answer any of those that are an issue, the folks at Team Life will get an email and then can follow up as needed with you. And then there's the open-ended question of, is there anything else that Team Life can provide for you? And once you make some changes to this form, if you fill anything out, the save and exit button will get enabled. So right now it's not enabled because we haven't made any changes, but if we put something in the form, then it automatically gets enabled and you could save and exit this form. So we're going to cancel out of it. We've made a change. It's asking us, are we sure? Since we have made a change, we're going to say OK, and it takes us back to the previous screen. And so that's the open AED checks. Those get created, as I said, either monthly or quarterly, and then the primary contact for that AED, which is a site person, the primary contact is associated, is assigned to a site, and then is the primary contact for all the AEDs at that site. when the AED checks get created by the system, the primary contact gets notified. If there's no primary contact associated with a site and those AEDs, then the customer admin gets notified that the open AED checks got created and that there was no primary contact to send it to. Also, before the AED check closes and is no longer editable, the primary contact will get reminded that there's an open AED check and you really ought to be filling it out. So then you can also see pads expiring, batteries expiring, and warranties expiring, and those are over the next 3 months. So if you pull up this report, this particular user doesn't have any pads that are expiring anytime soon. If it was, we would see information about that AED, including the serial number and the site, and then when the pads expire and some other information about it. Same with batteries, same with warranty. Also, when the system will send a reminder when batteries, warranty, and pads are expiring in the next, 3 months, and that gets sent to the primary contact of the AED. So you don't necessarily have to come in here all the time and run the report. The system will proactively send you out an email with a pretty decent amount of lead time before any of these expire. So you can come in and check out the AEDs that are at the sites you're associated with. And so this person is associated with just the one site, and there's only one AED at that site. And so here's some summary information about it, where it is, some of the expiration dates, the service plan it's on, who's the primary contact. We don't happen to have a primary contact for the main site yet. But we can go and edit it, or we can view it. We'll click on the edit button. So even though this user is not the primary contact, they're still associated with this site and this AED, so they can edit the record if they need to. So they can come in here and they can update any of these if for some reason they're incorrect. So for some reason the pad's expiration date was incorrectly set, that can be updated here, the battery install date, the battery manufacture date, the battery lot. If there are other pads, if there are ICPR pads or child pads, those expiration dates can be put in. Here's where you can put where the AED is physically located, so you could type in 3rd floor near the elevators, to make it a little bit easier to find when you want to do your AED check. If you really want to, you can set the latitude and longitude. You can come in here and you can hit the Set Location by GPS button, and then the system will ask you, do you really want to give up your physical location? This is actually a security issue that has nothing to do with the system, but is with the browser in this particular case. If you're on your mobile device, same thing will happen, and we'll use your location from the mobile device. And then you can see some other information, and if something changes, you can then hit Save and Exit and save the record and update everything. We're going to cancel out. And then you can see the past AED checks, so any AED checks that were previously filled out. Again, there's none in the system for this particular user, but you'd only be able to view these. You'd see the same things that you saw on the open check, just that none of those fields would be editable. And then you can see the sites you're associated with, and you can view those sites. You can't edit the site information. The customer admin can come in here and can edit the site information, but you can see for that site what AEDs are at that site. So here's another table of AEDs specifically at this one site. And so you can come in here and look at the site, look at the AEDs that are at the site. So those are all the reports. We'll go back to the dashboard and you get this view back. Now there's an action that you can create, an AED incident form, and click on that. An AED incident is that an AED was used for some reason. So maybe it was needed to help someone, and the folks at Team Life would like to understand what AED was used and a little bit of a description about that. So you can pick the site, and you can say, okay, so it was the main site, and here's the AED, and here's the incident date and time, and then some description about what happened. So in this particular case, the user is not restricted to only the sites that they are associated with. They can actually select a different site because we want to make it easy for you to enter any incidents at all. And then you get to see, when you pick a site, it shows you the AEDs at that site. So if we pick branch site, then it reloads the AD with a different serial number, and it shows you some information. This particular one happens to have a location of lobby in it. And then you can end up putting in the description. And then save and exit. And if for some reason you have multiples to do, you can hit save and new, and that will clear the form and allow you to create a new one on top, as well. And so we're going to hit cancel. And so that's everything from a user perspective about the reports and the actions and forms that you can fill out. So thanks very much for watching. This is David from MyAEDs.com.